Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. 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 It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to Morgantown, West Virginia. It is the opening of the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion here at Mylan Park. It is the home opener for the Morgantown Mohawks versus the Sewickley Academy Panthers. We're going to get into the rosters here as the game's about to begin. First, for the visiting Sewickley Academy Panthers, 1-1 on the season. Head coach is Jake Gradwell. It's going to be number 2, Zachary Blinn. Number 7 will be John Paul Lieb. Number 9 will be Matthias Lieb. Number 21 will be Evan Baker. Number 22 will be Colby Ranowski. Number 26 will be Brooks Crana. Number 34 will be Jack Carlson starting in the cage tonight. Number 43, Charlie Scally. Number 58 will be Jacob Stanislaw. Number 59, Ethan Smith. Number 72 will be Arjun Kastju. And number 88 will be Mario Thomas. Number 97, Cole Carlson. Rounds out the Panthers. The Panthers, of course, 1-1 on the season. Been a rough season so far. The start was with the Burrell Bucks. Unfortunately, due to a couple issues, the Bucks had to forfeit their victory, the 9-0 victory to the Sewickley Academy Panthers. And the Panthers are now 1-1 on the season. Young team. Head coach Jake Gradwell mentions, it's just trying to build the culture around the squad, what they want to do going forward in the third year of this rebirth of the Sewickley Academy hockey program. But it's a tough task as they've opened up against 3 powerhouses in the Burrell Bucks, the Ringgold Rams, and now the Morgantown Mohawks. We're going to talk about those Mohawks right now on the opposite side. They are in white with the red trim, the traditional colors for this squad, the defending Division II champion Morgantown Mohawks, led by head coach Rob Rockus. It'll be number 3, Brooks Nelson. Number 5, Ryan Lowe. Number 10 will be Ryder Baker. Number 11 will be Cameron Smith. Number 12 will be Brandon Custer. Number 15 will be Cooper Cox. Number 17 will be James Robbins. Number 21 will be Justin Daffner. Number 22, Max Walker. Number 25 will be Liam Cottrell. Number 29 will be Luke Quigley. Luke Staharo will be wearing number 30. Number 33 will be Joseph Best. Number 36 will be Xander Bailey. Number 40 will be Jackson Seagraves. Number 41 will be Sierra Mazie. Number 55, Cooper Helen. Number 71, Jonathan Price. Number 88, Dominic Petrucci. Number 93, Max Snyder. Ryan Lowe starts in net wearing number 5 for the Mohawks. They are 2-0 on the season. They also played Ringgold on the second, won 7-4 over the Rams. And on the other side of it, it was Trinity on Tuesday. The 6-3 victory for the team from West Virginia. Of course, they are on the chase for their back-to-back Division II championships. But head coach Rob Rockus explains it was an uphill battle. It will be an uphill battle this year for his squad, as it is a lot younger squad. Graduated a couple seniors last year. But they are as hungry and living on that high right now, and that's what you like to see from a team. And it can't hurt with this brand new, beautiful facility that they're moving into this year. The stakes are really high for the Mohawks. Speaking of this beautiful facility, I'm in awe. This is my first trip down here. This is the first PIHL game covered here. I believe this is only like the second or third game even live streamed here at this point. And it is gorgeous. They're not even done with it yet. This place is top of the line. If you've ever seen one, 1,200 seater. Home to WV Hockey. They're talking about bringing in a junior team. The sky's the limit. They're going to be putting in a directly in front of you right here where you see that WVU Medicine Children's sign. There is going to be a 10-foot by 40-foot video board going in. Right now, for the purpose of this game, there are no penalty timers, so we're going to be playing everything manual tonight. No shot timers, so I'm going to have to pay attention to all the live scoring here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. But I'll tell you what, first rink that I've come into, and they are live watching the games on the TVs by the concession stand out in the lobby. Beautiful new facility, top of the line here in West Virginia. Congratulations to the entire area on this new venue. But as for the game, we've got a D2 matchup of a non-divisional variety, each team playing an out-of-division game tonight. But it is the third game of the season for both these squads, so they've got a couple games underneath their belts. It's going to be a fun one here in Motown. We're going to let them get ready, get lined up, and we will be underway momentarily here from the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion in Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm going to say Pennsylvania. I know that. Sorry, guys. I'm so used to being where I'm at. But this is now a West Virginia game this evening. I'm Brian Mitchell on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest and 10band.tv. Enjoy the ride, folks. I'll be back momentarily. As always in PIHL hockey, 17 minutes per period here. We're going to get the names with the numbers as the game progresses. Once again, my name is Brian Mitchell. Thank you for joining me here from West Virginia. If you're paying attention on the 10-band network, we have MVI up at Ice Castle Arena, and at about 9:10 p.m., you can tune in to a second half of what is a split doubleheader this evening with legend Matt Popchuk from 81 miles north at Barrel Ice Complex. But this one is going to be underway here. Oh, no, not yet. And we are underway here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. Morgantown will win the face. It's going to be passed up looking for Helen. Helen will carry this into the zone, but it's going to be an attempt and hit by Justin Daffner. He'll go behind the cage. He'll skate it back out. Shot on, saved by Carlson. Rebound comes on, another save there. It's going to be picked up and cleared up by Evan Baker out of the zone. Chasing it down is Cameron Smith. Smith in behind the cage. He'll carry it out across the board. Smith across the blue, across the red. He's going to carry it in and dump it. Back down around. Picked up by Daffner. Daffner couldn't collect it, so it's going to be picked up by the Panthers. They'll dump it out. It'll come up to the near ball. Back up, Stanislaw couldn't get to it, but Cox will hold on to it. Cox throws it across, onside, opportunity shot, Daffner high, just goes wide of the net. Rebound comes in, save made. Carlson, and he'll hold on to it. 16:15 remaining here in the first frame, scoreless at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. Faceoff will come up to the left of Jack Carlson, one of two seniors on the squad for the Panthers, and the only senior in the lineup this evening for Jake Gradwell's squad. Face-off one, back by Lieb. Price will take it and just dump it back up to the boards. That'll be dumped down around by the Mohawks. Chasing it down is Seagraves. Seagraves passes it out quickly. Quickly shot through everybody, and it goes just off and saved by Carlson. Rebound out to Quigley. Quigley's shot tipped in and save made by the netminder in black. 15:56 remaining. Face-off coming up here to the right. Sewickley Academy, a little short-handed this evening, only carrying 2 lines plus 1 for the trip. We picked up Sierra Maisie behind the cage. She's going to try to throw this one on net. It's going to go back off of a defender and out. That's Max Walker chasing it back down. He'll pass it around for Luke Quigley. Quigley into the far near corner. It's going to be passed out to Sierra Maisie on the half wall. She'll go back into the corner, tips this one back to herself. Be picked up. The Panthers will get there. Thomas will take the puck and dump it into the corner. It'll be picked up by John Paul Lieb, and he's going to score! Sewickley Academy takes a 1-0 lead, and that is off the stick of Mario Thomas. 1-0 Panthers. Just a quick play to throw it out in front. Thomas made them pay on the turnover in the corner. 15:27 remaining in the first frame. 1-0 Sewickley Academy face off at center. Stepping in is Evan Baker. Evan Baker and Nelson. It'll be won by Nelson. We'll pass this one around. Be tipped back out. Carrying it in is James Robbins. Robbins throws it across. Gonna find Dominic Petrucci. Petrucci behind the cage. It's up. Braden Custer. Custer goes back out to the point. He's gonna take it out of the zone. Back around, he'll dump this one off. An opportunity here for the Panthers. They had to get onside. Baker couldn't get there in time, so it's going to be picked up and carried out by Robbins. Robbins up along the half wall, turned over. Evan Baker. It'll bounce up in the air, glove down, and carried out by the Mohawks. Into the zone comes Nelson. Nelson shot just wide of Carlson. Goes back behind the cage, a hit in front. It's going to be picked up and carried the other way. Stanislaw, he'll just tip this one back in on net. It'll be held on to by Ryan Lowe, and the junior will just smother it, and they'll get a face-off down low. 14:40 remaining in the first frame. 1-0 Sewickley Academy early. They were able to capitalize on the turnover in the corner and got through the pressure of the Mohawks early. It'll be back out, picked up and dumped back in by Katju, and back in front of the cage. Picked up, the Mohawks will dump it out. Daffner will just tip this one back in past Blinn. Blinn goes behind the cage. He's going to give it up to Cashew. Katju throws this one around, and it's going to be Baker. Baker at the point. Throws one to the side. Cox comes in on a nice little play to get in. Shot just off the outside of the post, and it'll go back into the corner. Sewickley Academy will dump this one out. Baker will regroup back in his own zone. Passes around to Katju, or Smith. He'll just dump that one in. Picked up. Baker once again throws this one behind. Katju will collect it in his far corner. He'll dump that one up the boards. Belong Smith gives it over to Daffner. Daffner into the zone, has two black shirts to beat, could not do it. Heller will get the turnover. Carlson save made. It comes back around. Smith's shot goes off the stick. Rebound comes on. Carlson with the save. 13:44 remaining in the first. We are still 1-0 Sewickley Academy here. Face-off coming up to the right of Carlson. And we want to cross. Smith will dump this one across the center. Going to be picked up and carried out by the Panthers. And behind Stanislaw. It's the battle off here. Back down. Helen. It's a hard time collecting that one, so it's going to come back outside the zone. Carlson will have to chase it down, but that's an icing call with 24 remaining in the first frame. 1-0 Sewickley Academy. Thank you for joining me. Brian Mitchell here at the brand new Hope Gas Ice Pavilion here in Morgantown, West Virginia. It is a PIHL Division II inter-division matchup. Baker will step in. And the face-off is won by Jonathan Price. Coming across, Maisie will just let this one go back out. We tipped out by Robbins, back out. Dumped in by Baker on the cage. Back down, Robbins. Throws one down for Seacrest. Seacrest couldn't hold onto it. It's going to be picked up and carried out by the Mohawks. Into the zone they go. Thrown across. Rice couldn't get it on net. That was Cameron Smith. And out comes Sewickley Academy. Robbins will go. And we have a penalty coming up. It's going to be a hooking minor. And that one is going to be on Cameron Smith. We'll keep it by time here. 10:50. He will be out. It is a road power play for the Sewickley Academy Panthers. The Panthers 0 for 2 on the power play so far on the season, and the penalty kill 3 for 3 for Morgantown. 12:50 to go. Face-off one back by the Mohawks, but it's going to be picked up by the Panthers, and they'll have to watch as Morgantown carries it out of the zone. Petrucci into the zone. Gets to the circles, comes across the line, comes for the wraparound. He's just going to skate it around, burn a little bit of time. Skates back up to the top, around for Quigley. Quigley waits, shoots one on it, goes up and behind the cage, around for Katju. Katju will dump this one up for Lieb. Lieb has to throw this one around. It's going to be carried out by Mario Thomas. Thomas into the zone. Will get down. Lieb gets hit on the way through. Petrucci across. They'll be carried out by Nelson. Brooks Nelson will bring it across. Petrucci, oh, nice play to get around. Carlson has to stop and watch it go. Katju will dump this around for Lieb. Push on Paul Lieb. Watches as the puck bounces off his stick back across to a Mohawk into the zone. Nelson looking on the backhand, gets it off the side of the cage. It's going to be Matthias Lieb trying to tie him up behind him. It's going to be Nelson picking it up and carrying it out. Here comes Matthias Lieb. He'll get it out of the zone, dumps this one back out, but it goes right onto the waiting stick of Luke Quigley. Quigley will wait and burn some time. He's got about a minute, 50 seconds remaining on the power play. 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Carrying it out, Cox, the captain of Morgantown. Back up Quigley into the zone. Playing like they have 6 guys out there themselves are the Morgantown Mohawks, and it's going to be carried back up to the point. Quigley burning a little more time, about 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Carlson dumps this one, watches this one get dumped behind, picked up by Custer, and he'll just bounce this one around. Stanislaw is there, but it's going to be passed out, and Walker couldn't hold on to it, so it's an opportunity here coming the other way. That's going to be picked up by Morgantown. They'll take it behind their cage, just throw one around for Custer. Carlson breaks it up. Carlson into the zone. And out comes Morgantown. Cox into the zone. Has a little bit of pressure on him. Penalty has expired. We're back to full strength. Back out shot on by Robbins and out of play. 10:44 remaining in the first frame. 1-0. Sewickley Academy continues the lead. Face-off coming to the left of Carlson. Stepping is Lieb and Helen. It'll be won by Helen across for Snyder. Snyder's shot. Save Carlson. 10:38 remaining. He'll hold on to it. We'll get another face-off. Cox steps in with Lieb. Be won back by Sewickley Academy. Picking it up is Blinn. Blinn dumps one up, and it'll be on the backhand and out by Thomas, and that's going to go the length of the ice for an icing call. 10:29 remaining here in the first frame. Still 1-0. A lot of netting here, so your vision might be a little impaired if it looks like it's a little off. That's the case. Back down. It'll be backhanded up by Mario Thomas, and he has 2 red shirts tying in with him there. It's Helen and Cox. Helen will win that one. It's going to try to pass it across for Daffner. Daffner goes to the bottom of the line. Daffner to the far corner. Takes down his own defender and back out. Looks Cox, but it's going to be, oh, a nice little play to get around the defender. Lieb gets in there, and attempted play there by Ranowski. Stored and picked up and out. Cox back out to the point. Daffner, it runs into a black shirt there, and it's going to be Thomas dumping this one out of the zone and all the way down. Snyder will chase it. And that is an icing call. 9:42 remaining in the first frame. Once again, you got the MVI on 10-band TV if you want to check out some action from Alex Lyons on another sub-channel on 10-band TV. If you want to check out the game after this, which is going to be up at the Barrel Ice Complex, I believe it is Pine Richland and Peters Township. That is Matt Popchak on the call at 9:10 p.m. I believe 9 or 9:10, 82 miles north of us. That'll be going, but here we've got a D2 matchup. Back down, up by Price. Price will dump this one to Baker. Baker's shot goes wide. Coming around, Morgantown on the attack here. Seagraves tries to go after another shot opportunity there. Comes back out. Smith keeps it in. It'll be a hit along the board. Seagraves Watches it get thrown down the length of the ice, and it'll be held on to by Lowe. Lowe passes it out for Baker. Baker into his own corner. Down, Price waits. Throws one up along for Smith. Smith will carry it in. Cameron Smith comes around. Opportunity here. Ooh, flying in was Jonathan Price. Couldn't finish up the play, so it's going to be tapped into the corner. 8:49 remaining in the first frame. Price behind the cage. Price thinks about it, throws one on, and it's going to be an opportunity here for Cameron Smith. He'll go around behind the net, and it'll be dumped up to the point. Smith's nice play to keep it in. Cathju will have to collect behind the cage. Picked up and shot up along the boards and kept in by the Mohawks. It'll be Smith down low. Has a couple players in Baker. Top of the circle, throws one through. Save made. Rebound looks for Smith. It's going to be passed around for Petrucci. Comes back out. Nelson's shot just wide of the cage. Comes around. It's going to be Carlson letting it go clear out. And Baker will have to regroup back into his own zone. He passes it out. Finds Petrucci. Petrucci into the zone. Nice little tip there by Cathju. He'll dump this one up along for Nelson. Nelson top of the circle. He's going to wait. Shot just saved, made, and held on to. 8 minutes remaining. Carlson will hold on to it. 1-0 Sewickley Academy here in Morgantown. Morgantown getting all the chances here, but unfortunately Sewickley Academy up to task so far. But you got to wonder when that numbers game's going to turn on them. Hack across. Back up for Quigley. Quigley shot low, tipped across by Blinn by the skate. It'll be dumped into the corner. Dumped by Custer. Custer has the puck taken off by Blinn. It'll come back down. Blinn will regroup. A little bit of pressure there from Petrucci. Behind the net, Petrucci throws one in the slot. Right into a black shirt. It's going to come out. Lieb will dump this one out of the zone. And right in front of us, they'll test these new boards. It'll come back down. Carlson on the backhand. That is Cole Carlson, the sophomore. In around. Dipsy doodles around a defender up for Lieb. John Paul Lieb. It's a hard time with that one. Carlson waits back for Lieb. Back down it goes. It'll be picked up across. Custer, rebound opportunity there. He lost it off his stick and a save by Carlson. Rebound comes back out to the point. Opportunity here for Max Walker. Walker passes across Petrucci. Save made. Carlson. Rebound goes to the corner. Help. Nelson shakes off a hit. An opportunity coming the other way is Snyder. Sorry, Carlson with another chance there. Picked up by Petrucci. Lieb tries the backhand. It's going to be carried back out by the Mohawks. Up for Petrucci. All alone here. Opportunity. Shot on Carlson with the save. Rebound comes out. Nelson scores! Morgantown gets there first on the net date. 6:33 remaining in the first frame. It's 1-1. Big opportunity there. We're able to get Carlson off kilter and fire one past him. And it is 1-1 with 6:33 remaining here in the first frame. Face-off won by Morgantown. Back out. Stanislaw will take it. They're offside, and that's going to be called offside. Face-off coming just outside the zone. Face-off one to Stanislaw. Stanislaw brings it in. Looks for the shot just wide of Lowe. Will come back down and carried out by the Mohawks. Here comes Cox into the zone. 2-on-1. Cox throws one across. Shot just off the stick of Carlson. Rebound comes back into the corner. Helen lets one go behind. It'll be Blinn throwing it up to the point past Robbins, and it'll go the length of the ice for an icing call. 6 minutes remaining here in the first frame. 1-1 is your score from the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. Sewickley Academy and Morgantown. Face off one back. The Mohawks. Cox shot block. Back around Carlson on the backhand. Throws one up looking for Renoski. Could not get to him. It's going to go back out to the point. Kept in by Morgantown. It'll be up for Thomas. Thomas will just dump this one out the length of the ice. No icing on the play. 5:41 remaining here in the first. It'll pass it around. It'll be up by the Mohawks and out of the zone comes Robbins. Robbins around for Cox. Cox shot just wide of the cage. Rebound. It's going to be picked up by the captain on the backhand across. Heller couldn't get to it. Helen could not collect it. Back down. Shot was blocked by Sewickley Academy, and Lieb waits, throws one around, picked up by Helen. Brings it in, it's going to be blocked by Carlson. I'll give you one thing about the Panthers, they are not afraid of throwing the body in front of the puck here. Cox with the circles, throws one around. Thomas is just going to take the puck and dump this one up, and it's going to go to Robbins. Robbins throws one down. It's going to be blocked by Thomas. Snyder has to regroup behind the cage. Waits, throws one up, and it's going to be Lieb. But to go for Cox. Cox carrying it across the blue, across the red, across the opposite blue. Coming in around ahead of steam. Gets around a defender, looks for the pit, and he just won't able to get the puck on his stick at the last part of the play. Daffner was there, but it's going to be 3 black shirts to beat. Kachu battles behind the cage with Helen. And carrying it out are the Panthers, and they'll just ice it with 4:24 remaining here in the first frame. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening. Glad to have you. 4:24 remaining in the first. Sewickley Academy and Morgantown tied at 1. First game at the new Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. It'll be one back and shot on by the Mohawks. Rebound comes up across and gets past the waiting stick of Krania. And it'll have to be cleared back into the zone where it's Ryder Baker collecting the puck. Pass this one out, picked up and thrown down. Seagraves will throw this one off his own stick, and that goes out of play with 4 minutes remaining. Face-off will be directly in front of me. 1-1 is your score. Jonathan Price steps in with Evan Baker. We won by Baker. Carlson just dumps this one up across a couple sticks. Tries to kick it back to himself, but it's going to be the Mohawks getting the puck. Seagraves throws one off of the skate of Maisie. They'll go back around and picked up by Price. Price into the zone. Waits, throws one top of the circles, and it's going to be the Panthers bringing it back for Carlson. Carlson has Stanislaw. Stanislaw throws one on the cage. It'll be saved by Lowe. Rebound comes on the cage, and he'll just keep it down and held on to it. 3:28 remaining here in the first frame. Of course, you can check out PIHLhockey.com for all the stats and information from your favorite teams. I'm, of course, using the PIHL stat sheet for this evening, as I do not have a shots or penalty updates here. No clocks. It'll be shot on by Sewickley Academy. What I can tell you, in 3 games, it is the first goal scored by the Sewickley Academy Panthers, and it is 1-1, as Morgantown had to come back and tie it on a goal by Brooks Nelson. Mario Thomas with the goal for the Panthers. But bringing it in right now, Morgantown around. It's going to be a penalty coming up against the Panthers. Petrucci battles into the near corner. Back up to the point. Quigley back down for Petrucci. It's going to be touched by the Panthers, and a penalty coming up. It's a tripping call. I thought the initial call was a high stick, but it's a tripping call. And we're going to see who is it going to be on. It is going to be on Zachary Blinn, the freshman. And Morgantown heads to the power play. 2:53 remaining in the first. If you're paying attention to the clock, 53 seconds, it will expire. Home team has the power play, and here we go. Back up Petrucci for Robbins. Robbins comes to the top of the circles, back to Smith. Smith passes it down to Helen. On up for Smith, for Cox. Cox comes in, fires one, it goes wide. Petrucci with 2:34 remaining in the period. They brought back out Robbins. throws one across. Shot off the chicken wing of Carlson. He'll push that one back out. Petrucci will take it on the far wall. It'll be tipped in by Cox. And it's 2-1 on the power play. Morgantown. Cox with the tip in. And 2:19 remaining in the first. It is 2-1. If you needed to know, Morgantown was 1 for 6 on the power play this season so far. They're now 2 for 7. Sewickley only stopped one of the 3 power plays they had faced in the previous game. Face-off will be won by the Panthers, and Stanislaw will dump this one in to the near corner. It'll be tapped back out to Baker. Baker's shot just wide. Rebound comes on, opportunity. Stanislaw throws one just through the crease. Comes back down and picked up by Petrucci, but it's going to be turned over. Baker opportunity with Robbins behind the cage. Robbins will take it and waits it out. Throws one up through center. It's going to find the waiting stick of Custer. Custer will lose the puck. Coming back out is Carlson. Carlson chases it down. Opportunity here with Stanislaw. Carlson with the speed to get down into the near corner. Has Stanislaw in front. Breaks it himself, but he loses the puck. Petrucci will collect it and carry it out of the zone. Out come the Mohawks into the zone. Petrucci comes around, shot. Just stopped by the leg of Carlson. And back out, Robbins chases it down. Robbins behind the cage. Taps one over. Finds Brooks Nelson. Up across, Nelson throws one down for Custer. Custer on the backhand throws one in front, opportunity for Petrucci. Big save by Carlson. Throws one in front, nobody home. It's going to be picked up by Smith at the half wall. He'll dump it down for Nelson. Around Custer. Down, drop, Robbins circle, just wide of the cage. Rebound, comes around, couldn't find a stick of Petrucci, and it comes out of the zone. Picked up by Morgantown, 52 seconds remaining here in the frame. And now Kathju will wait and have to watch Blinn, who is in a battle with Nelson. Nelson throws one to the slot. Cottrell shot. Save made by Carlson on a good opportunity by Cottrell. And out it goes. Smith will have to chase this one down. No icing on the play. 28 seconds remaining in the frame. Back down it goes. It'll be blocked. Thomas throws one in the slot. Oh, it had lead there, but it's going to be picked up by a defender and back out. Blinn at center loses the puck. He's going to give it up to Smith. Opportunity here for Stahara, but it's going to come back outside the zone with 9 seconds remaining. Thomas throws one into the near corner. 4 seconds to go. Lieb gets around a defender, tries to throw one out, but he's tied up, and that's going to be the end of the first frame here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion with your score. The Morgantown Mohawks 2, the Sewickley Panthers 1. We'll be back with your second frame momentarily here in Morgantown.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Second period coming up here from the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. 2-1, Morgantown leading. Face-off coming up at center. It's going to be Cooper Cox and Matthias Lieb. Face-off one back by Cox to Robbins, and it's going to be dumped in by the the Panthers. Back down Cox in the far corner. They cleared up and shot on and it scores. For the Morgantown Mohawks, it's going to be Cox with his second. And at 16:45, it's 3-1. My apologies, had to clear my throat right before that goal was scored. Cox will step in with Baker. It'll be one back by Baker. Cathju carries it in, throws one through the crease. Nobody home, coming across Stanislaw. Back down into the corner, Baker and Cox. Battle down there. The captain with two here. Cathju takes the puck. It's in and around the defender, looks for Stanislaw. Stanislaw has Baker to his right, his left, and then just throws one up along the glass. It's after deflection. Down it goes and out past Stanislaw. And around. And the Mohawks will just watch that one clear out. Back down, 16:02 remaining. Helen. It's hit along the wall. Cox looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what you refer to as a natural hat trick for Cooper Cox. 3 in a row, 15:50 remaining, 4-1 Morgantown. A natty hattie for the captain. Morgantown out to a 4-1 lead. 15:50 remaining in the frame. Down into the corner. Max Walker battles along the half wall. Lieb tries to keep it in. Carlson gets it back down for John Paul Lieb, but it's going to be Quigley getting to it first. Up it goes around. Up by Seagraves. But Thomas battles him. Thomas with the only goal for the Panthers tonight. Thomas throws one on the half wall. He'll go back down into the corner. Lieb back out for Thomas. Thomas has to walk around, watch Price collect the puck, and it's going to go back into the corner. Pressure there by the Panthers. Thomas falling down, having a hard time getting back up to his skates. Carrying it out is Price. Price into the offensive zone. Price gets around a defender, but falling down on a trip from Carlson, and that's going to be a penalty coming up against the Panthers. Let's see what the official call is here. But it will be Cole Carlson, the sophomore, heading off. At the 15-minute mark, Morgantown heads back to the advantage. Tripping is the call. Beautiful facility. They're still waiting for the remainder part of their scoreboards, however. Like I said, we do not have penalty scoreboards or shots clocks yet, or shot counters yet. So we'll go by live scoring. But it'll be 13 minutes when this one expires. Morgantown pass across, save made. Rebound comes up on the backhand, save made. Rebound blocked. Blinn tries to throw one out. It's going to be pecked out to the point. Morgantown has a hard time collecting that one. It falls off the stick of Helen, and it'll be dumped in by Stanislaw. Back down for Smith in the near corner. Smith will dump this one out. It's going to go to length back to Cathju. Cathju loses the puck. Petrucci waits, throws one over to Cox. Cox into the zone. Top of the circles. Throws one across. Picked up by Morgantown. Rebound comes over for Petrucci. He'll go behind the cage. Throws one around. Cox up on the half wall. Back to Petrucci. And it'll be cleared out. Chasing it down is Robbins. Robbins across for Petrucci. Has Cox to his right. Shot on, save made. Comes back in the corner. Cooper Cox waits. Top of the circles, looks for the tip in front, and tipped in on a power play goal by Petrucci. And with 13:42 remaining in the second, it's 5-1. said, Morgantown running a full lineup tonight. 11 skaters for the Panthers. Walker behind the cage. Throws one up for Custer. Custer on the backhand. Out for Nelson. Nelson across for Cottrell. Throws one through, or Carlson collects it behind the cage. Just up one in the near corner. Custer shot across looking for Quigley. He just dumps this one down into the corner looking for Cottrell. Cottrell with a play to get back out there. It's going to be Custer in front. Shot on rebound looking for Nelson. Nelson, top of the circles. Throws one in the dipsy doodle around to the top of the circles. Down to the other side. Looking for the tip across, and it's going to be picked up by the Panthers, and Walker's going to keep it in on the backhand. Dumps it behind for Smith, and it's going to be Thomas collecting it, but it's going to be kept in nicely by Quigley. Sewickley Academy trying to get it outside the zone. They're having a hard time collecting it, but it is going to be picked up. And a pair of 22s will battle along the boards, but dump back out. Nelson, opportunity here, 2-on-1 if he hurries. Nelson and Cottrell throws it over to Cottrell. Cottrell all alone, shot off the post. 12:22 remaining, and they'll go back in the near corner. Walker will dump this one in, and Lieb battles along. It's going to be kept by the Panthers, but Nelson, opportunity shot off of Carlson and out of. Down for Quigley, back behind, picked up by Morgantown. Walker back to the top of the circle. Is this one around? Luke Quigley shot, scores! Luke Quigley gives the Mohawks a 6-1 lead with 11:58 remaining here in the second frame. .58 remaining in the second, 6-1 Morgantown. And this home opener starting to get a little bit out of control for the Mohawks. It's weird for the Mohawks last season winning the Division II championship, and with the advent of the Challenge Cup, which was not a bona fide state championship, but at every makings of it last year, I of course called it. Unfortunately, we're not eligible for that game as they play south of the Mason-Dixon line. The Pennsylvania State Cup, or the Pennsylvania States, on that day, they were replaced by the Borough Bucks, the runners-up, who ended up winning the Challenge Cup last year. Morgantown heading off the Nationals during that time frame, but 11:30 remaining here. So they are the defending Division II champions. It's a weird dynamic in the PIHL this year, as that Challenge Cup is not a real state championship in the eyes of many, but in the eyes of a few, it is. And Morgantown, of course, plays for the West Virginia championships every year. 11:03 remaining to be passed around. Back up to the point. Shot on, and D2 going to be set up a little bit differently with two divisions this year. A couple teams coming back. McDowell dropping down to the division. And then the dropping of Gateway and Bishop Canavan this year. So you have a couple new teams coming into the division, a couple teams leaving, going down to two divisions, a couple teams stepping up this season. So it's going to be an interesting year in the open division, of course, playing multiple teams. You know, you can play multiple schools in one team. That's the beauty of what we do with the Division II here. Smith across. It's going to be blocked, and it's going to be going in. It actually went into his equipment temporarily. And out it goes for Baker. Baker waits, throws one around. It'll be hit into the corner. Smith picks up the puck. Back out for Cooper Cox. Cox into the zone. Waits, throws one across, tip in front, and it is a goal at 7-1. Morgantown now leads with 10:12 remaining. This one is unraveling quickly. Face-off coming up at center. One back. Daphner carries it into the zone. Waits, throws one on, and Baker will watch that one go behind the cage. Around Lieb. Tries to get into the corner. He's going to watch it be tipped past to Heller. Helen throws one across. Baker's shot blocked by Lieb. Thomas goes into the wall. Lieb down there with Stanislaw. They'll throw one around John Paul Lieb. Back out to the point. Helen. This one in front. Cox couldn't get to it, so it's going to be back Thomas picking it up. Thomas getting around the defender and out of the zone. 9:26 remaining here. And that's an icing call with 9:23. So far. Mario Thomas opened up the scoring at 1:33 of the first for the Panthers. And then it's just been all Morgantown as Brooks Nelson. Then 3 by Cooper Cox in a row. Petrucci, Luke Quigley, and then that last goal by Daphner to make it 7-1. Will be dumped back out of the zone and cleared to length, and that will be an icing call. One more goal, and we're talking about a running clock. The stats are misleading for the Panthers right now. They're just, as we talked to Jake Gradwell before the game, he said they're a young team. They're just trying to learn what it's like to get better, to be better, to just grow as an association and as a team because of their youth. The opportunity, the only 2 seniors on the squad, 1 playing today, nets off its moorings. They just want to grow and learn what it is to be a competing team in this league. And of course, you get powerhouses out of this league because they've been playing for years. You watch all the senior nights. He said, I went through several senior nights last year when I was with Hempfield. He was an assistant on the Hempfield squad. And he said it was that they grew as a team and they were able to graduate 10, 12, 15 seniors. And that's how you build associations. So he's looking forward to that as a possibility here. But 8:42 remaining in the second. They've got an uphill climb as Morgantown throws another one on Cage. Nelson, they've already got 34 shots on Cage as of the last update here. Nelson throws one down. He goes on the backhand. It's probably 35. Big hit there. And it's going to be cleared out looking for the home run pass. Stanislaw couldn't get to it, so it's going to be carried back in. And I'm going to see what they call offside here. 8:28 remaining second. Rob Rockus in the same boat, but different. If you think about his squad last year, the high flyers, the hard hitters, they played hockey, their style, and they're just trying to continue that tradition with a new group. He says he's got a couple upperclassmen, but it's very young, very timid, but he's trying to teach them what it means to be a varsity player. And so far, so good in this season as they put up 7 and 6 in the first 2 games, and then in this game, 7 so far, and we're not even halfway through it. Face-off coming up at center. This is the opening PIHL game for the Morgantown Mohawks at this rink, the new home in Morgantown of West Virginia hockey. We're hoping that this is going to attract a lot larger events. This 1,200-seater. Tech is like crazy so far, and they're not even done yet. Morgantown will take that puck across the near half wall, and Price will carry it out into the zone. Price gets around a defender, waits, throws one that he's going to carry back into the corner, gets on the backhand, back to the forehand, up to the point. Robin's shot rolls down. Opportunity for Maisie on the side of the paint. Net Sheep goes back to cover. Back out it comes. Big hit along the boards. And out. It's going to be hit down by Ronoski. Maisie tries to get around a defender. She gets taken down behind the cage. Sewickley Academy comes up, and they're getting a little more physical as we progress. Out comes Jonathan Price, up for Seagraves. Seagraves gets around a defender, back for Robbins. Robbins up on the half wall. He gets knocked down by Lieb, and it's going to be cleared out of the zone. Down it goes Max Snyder. Snyder thinks about it, dumps this one out, and it's going to be tipped around. Smith couldn't finish it up, so it's going to be cleared back out for Robbins. Robbins comes in, comes down, gets around. Opportunity there by Thomas. Is going to be down for the Mohawks, and it's going to be iced. 6:38 remaining, second frame. The physicality is coming up, but so is the skill as this game progressed. 6:38 remaining. Well, it face off to the right. Ryan Lowe in net for Morgantown. So far, only 10 shots on the cage. Stanislaw back down. He stopped 9 of them. Back up looking for Cottrell, but it's going to be picked off by the Panthers and cleared out. Stahara into the zone, throws one across, looks for the tip in front. Cox looking for his 4th. Throws one across the center, picked up Baker. Top of the slot, shot goes down and blocked. Picked up by the captain. On the half wall, Cooper Cox across, finds Baker. Baker, low shot, save made, goes wide of the cage. Cottrell behind. Cox all over the place right now. Throws one to the slot. It's going to be 2 black shirts trying to beat Stahara, and it's going to be cleared out of the zone and into the Morgantown bench, and we'll have a face-up outside the zone here. 5:55 remaining. Well, they're going to give that one back down to the right of the Sewickley Academy netminder. That is Carlson, Jack Carlson, the senior. He's back up tonight. Sophomore Charlie Scally has not appeared in this varsity game, this varsity season so far. Whoa, pass back on his own cage was the defender. Carlson reacting quickly and falls on it, loses his footing, but 5:49 remaining, they'll have another face-off. Whew. Cross. Yep. Cottrell goes down to be passed out and cleared out to Thomas. Thomas carrying into the zone. Thomas, the build of a power forward, brings in an opportunity, gets tipped around all by himself on low, but it's going to be Lieb coming in top of the circle. Lieb throws one back, finds Kathju. The captain loses the puck across to the opposite captain, and Cooper Cox will carry it in. Opportunity for Cottrell here, tips it across, looking for Cox again. Oh, nice attempt. Rebound comes off Carlson, out of position, but the puck goes through the crease. Back down Cottrell, back for Cox. Skates it up to the top of the circle, throws one across. Baker, shot, blocked. Rebound comes out to the Panthers and carried out by Kathju. He waits, kills a little clock, and gets this one back out to Cooper Cox, who is somehow playing defense on that play. Back in Thomas, they barely get onside. No, they're going to call offside here. Smith regroups. I thought maybe he made it on a far shot there, but it wasn't close. Cottrell in. Helen throws one on, goes up and out. 4:38 remaining here in the second frame. 7-1, Morgantown now leads over Sewickley Academy. Baker. Pair of 21 stepped into the dot. Daffner and Baker. One by Baker. It was dumped back in. Crania throws one. It's high off the corner. It's back along the half wall. Helen lets this one go out for Daffner. Daffner going to carry it into the zone. Daffner waits, throws one that gets tipped. He picks it up with his glove, tries to throw one around. He's going to backhand this one on cage and held on to by Carlson. 4:11 remaining here. Live here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. Next week, if you're interested in checking out some more PIHL action on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest and 10-Band TV, I will be at the Kirk Nevin Arena in Greensburg for North Hills and Greensburg Salem single A matchup, 8:35 next Thursday. And then we'll move our rig to the Ice Castle Arena on the 23rd for Pine Richland and Thomas Jefferson. But here, Quigley battles along and up along. Be picked up by the Panthers. Out they go. Crania is going to come in. He's going to shoot this one on the cage. It'll go across. There's Katsu dumping this one down off Crania, and it's going to be tipped around. Nobody home. 3:25 to go. They'll hold on to it. It'll be to the left of Lowe. And dumped around. Picked up, and in front of us, Blinn. Blinn and Petrucci battle, but it's going to be Blinn getting around a couple defenders. Blinn can't get through that last one. It's going to be tipped around. Lieb. Lieb goes in the near corner. Throws one on. It's going to be shot on, save made. Rebound comes back out. Thomas gets hit along across. Lieb tries to get another opportunity on that, but the Mohawks will carry it out. Here comes Morgantown the other way. Oh, big opportunity here. Shot on. Save by Carlson. 2:51 remaining in the second. They'll hold it at 7-1. Shots are 35-13 in favor of the Mohawks. Custer will go down with Lieb, and it's going to be won by the Mohawks. Shot on, blocked, rebound for Petrucci. Cox shots. No, sorry, that was not Cooper Cox. That was Liam Cottrell with the shot. It was saved by Carlson. Robbins across, looking for another chance there. It's going to be cleared up, and across for Thomas. Back out Petrucci. Petrucci gets around a defender, but going down was Lieb. The regroup and dumped up along. Shot on, dumped in and around Petrucci. Carlson throws one through. He gets taken down as he goes through. No penalty on that. A knee there, and nobody home. It's going to be picked up. Thomas gets hit by Petrucci, and it's starting to pick up big time here. Snyder and Ron Oski will battle across the board. It's going to be picked up by Carlson, and he gets low-bridged in front of us. Down it goes behind. They're just letting him play here. Snyder throws one around for Custer. We picked up by Katsu. Katsu shot, save made, rebound opportunity here. Thomas looking for his second. Comes back down. Katsu couldn't get to it. It's going to be passed back out, and coming out in a 2-on-2 are the Mohawks. Looking around for Cottrell, shot, save made. Carlson, rebound. Petrucci shot scores. 8-1, and we have a 1:25 remaining in the frame. Petrucci with a tap in behind. Well, face off at center. Cox will win this one back for Baker. Go back down to the corner. Baker gets hit by Stanislaw. With that all along the half wall in front of the benches. That's the other aspect of this rink. This is one of those rinks that has the scorer's box directly at center, flanked by both penalty boxes and then the benches all on one side to have that clean look on the broadcast side. And was talking with the coaches from Morgantown before the contest. There are some advantages and disadvantages to this. Because the benches are so far in the offensive zones, you have to watch your changes. The opportunities for your for offside are greater. But they do allow for more interesting line changes whenever you're talking about the face-offs in the offensive zones. If you have the short change, AKA the the second period, you worry about the getting the correct people out there. If you win the face-off, you can do a quick change for your wingers, or you can put a defender out there if you need to on the fly. So it gives you a couple different strategies there when it comes to line changes. But this does have that clean look. Thomas throws one around as good block. Smith behind the cage, 1 second remaining. That'll be the end of the second frame. The Morgantown Mohawks now lead the Sewickley Academy Panthers 8-1 after 2. We'll get an ice cut and be back here momentarily with your third period.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices, located in the Greengate East Plaza below Walmart. Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Back here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion in Morgantown, West Virginia, the Mohawks leading the Panthers 8-1 at the end of the second frame. We're going to talk a little out-of-town scoreboard here. And boy, when I say out-of-town scoreboard, I mean we're talking out-of-state scoreboard. It's a little humor and joke there. You don't have to laugh at home, but that's okay. So we'll start at the Brady's Run Ice Arena, which is about 100 miles from here. The Quaker Valley Quakers shutting out the Beaver Bobcats 6-0. Let's look and see how the squad did on that day. Looks like Jace Vesbinder with a natural hat trick. Luke Kohler, Matthias Lamazama, and Ben McHenry with goals for the Quakers. And Ian Lorang with the shutout in the cage. Fox Chapel trailing Central Catholic at Alpha Ice Complex. Let's look into that one and see how that's going. A tough adjustment to AAA for the Foxes. In the third period right now, all 4 goals from the first period by the Vikings. Ventura, Ketterer, Lappy, and Ventura once again. Nothing in the second or third so far. Bergwin with the start for the Vikings. And Miles Carey for the Fox Chapel Foxes. No score from Belmont. No reported right now on CFS Bank. We'll look at the old Ross Traver Ice Garden as it's the Landon Vaccaro goal show at Hockeyville, as he had the first 4 goals of the game for the Rams, and Santina with the 5th goal for the Rams. Rybnicki with 12 saves for Ringgold, and Helsel starting for Knock this evening. Bringing it down to Thomas Jefferson, Upper St. Clair. You can watch that one on 10-band TV on the Mon Valley channel. And that one will be a Lucas Blows 2-goal event, as Holden Taylor opened it up for Upper St. Clair in the first. Blows with 2 in a row, followed by a goal by Merrill, and then Nevin Shigan-Sanowski with a goal for Upper St. Clair, followed by a Jordan Luca goal. And actually, that one just went 3-3 as we were opening up the scoreboard here. Owen Laurent with the start, and 22 saves for the Panthers of Upper St. Clair. Thomas Jefferson, 17 saves from Ben Balducci. Chartiers Valley Butler down at Lebo. Gonna open that one up and see how they are faring. Goals from Shamansky, Wichterman, Viola. It's 3-2. Those are the Chartiers Valley goals. Then Stedman and Griffith with the goals for Butler. In the cage is going to be Harper Slater for Butler, and Colin Zolkowski for Chartiers Valley. They just opened up the third, and a quick goal by Butler brings them back within 1. Here, Morgantown Sewickley Academy. Well, this one started out Sewickley Academy really taking the beating from Morgantown early, but able to hold on to it and able to take a quick lead on a goal by Mario Thomas from John Paul Lieb at 1:33. Brooks Nelson had to go about 9 minutes later from Dominic Petrucci and Brandon Custer. Then Cooper Cox got his first on the power play from Petrucci and Helen. And then it was Cooper Cox, 2 straight goals, 15 seconds and 1:10 of the second frame. Cooper Helen got the assist on the first goal and was unassisted on the second goal. Dominic Petrucci got the 5th Morgantown goal from Cooper Cox. Max Walker and Custer gave Luke Quigley his goal at even strength before Justin Daffner got an assist from Cooper Cox on his at 6:48. And at 15:35, Petrucci with his second at even strength from Liam Cottrell and Brandon Custer. And that's where we're at, 8-1. We are on a running clock once we return here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. My name is Brian Mitchell. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening from Morgantown, West Virginia. We'll be back with your third frame momentarily.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh. 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 It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Gonna warm up here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion. One of the nice details that you notice about a couple of the rinks that are in the area, you don't have to necessarily go on the ice as soon as you start. You can go hang out on the bench for a little bit. Remember the ice mine in Connellsville was one you went straight to the bench and you hung out for a little while before the game even started. And then the, of course, Kirk Nevin Arena, you had to go across the ice, but Frozen Pond's the same way. You just walk right onto the benches and sit down for a little bit until you have to go on the ice. So you don't have to wait for the officials. You can go hang out for a little bit, just sit up and just enjoy the view as you're waiting to get your warm-up started. But you know, this is the nice little old school details of the rink. If you have any photographers out there, those are always the great pictures to get of the guys just hanging out for a little while. Well, we've got the Morgantown student sections. Students are here hanging out with us. Got our officials on the ice. They are Farmery and Vensko. But 17 minutes running clock to start as we have our 7 goal difference. We do also have what appears to be at least one goaltending change. Nope. Yes, they're going to have one goaltending change as they are going to seat Ryan Lowe and bring in Joseph Bast. Bast's first game of the season, the junior. He's getting warmed up. It's looking also like on the opposite side, it's going to be Charlie Scally. Scally making his first appearance of the season, the sophomore. He's talking with Jack Carlson. Not sure if they're going to make the change or not. They both look like they're ready to go, but Scally has his glove on and his assist on the opposite side. Low, no stick. It's going to be, yep, officially changed there. So both goaltenders will be pulled here for the third frame. We're going to get a backup battle here. 17 minutes to go. Bast and Scally. 17 minutes your distance. 8-1 your score. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening. Enjoy the remainder of this frame as Stanislaw will step in with Cox. And ladies and gentlemen, we are underway here in the third frame. Back across, picked up and dumped across off of a high stick. Mario Thomas will just dump it in. Stanislaw comes in, just battles up along. They'll run down, and Cox will carry it across the center. He brings it outside of the zone. 3 goals on the contest already. Cox trying to get around to get his fourth. Dumps this one down into the corner, up to the point. Back down, thrown on, up and around. Up by Helen. Helen for Robbins, and it's going to go back out. Clear to Smith. Back into his own zone. Back behind the waiting netminder of Bast. Makes a for Lieb. John Paul Lieb will dump this one out. Picked up by Cox and gets through the black shirts as he comes into the zone. Cox offside. And with 16:06 on the running clock, they'll bring it all the way back outside in front of us here. Like I said, next Thursday, if you're interested in checking out 10-man and Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, I will be at the Nevin Arena for Greensburg, Salem, and North Hills. Lynn gets hit by Price directly in front of me. That's an 8:35 face-off from Lynchfield Park in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. A single A matchup. Down it goes for Quigley in the near corner. On the backhand, he'll dump it out. It's going to be kept by Carlson. Throws one across looking for Baker. Baker shot, glove, save by Bast. And it's going to be cleared up to the point as Carlson's waiting for it. Top of the circle, shot, glove down, held on to by Bast. 15 minutes remaining in the frame. They'll have a face-off to the right of the junior netminder. Joe Bast. Sewickley Academy playing, I believe both these teams playing on Tuesday. So they're just resting up some players. A little bit of a seat here for the next one. Lieb will dump this one in on net. Bast will come out and pass it out for Walker. Throws one out. It's going to go back on cage. He'll just smother it down and hold it on to it with 14:18 remaining in the third. Stanislaw will step in with Petrucci. It'll be one back by Stanislaw. Lieb's shot, we tip down. Goes wide of the cage. Robbins up along the half wall, gets past Kachu, and it's going to be Petrucci chasing it down, but Lieb going into the zone. Lieb behind his own cage, throws one out, and picked up and dumped in by Robbins. Kachu throws one up along the half wall that goes back out to the point, but kept in. Lieb On the backhand, looking for Petrucci. Petrucci throws one around. Opportunity there by Morgantown. Couldn't get to it. The puck will be cleared back out for Snyder. Snyder carrying it down. Now for Robbins on the backhand. Out for Custer. Custer tries to go for the tip pass, but Nelson gives that one away, and Thomas will collect it. And he'll just dump it into the zone. Renoski will chase it down with Baker, and it'll be kept out by the Mohawks as Petrucci down in front of us. Waits, gets around a defender, stays in the near corner. Petrucci behind the cage, skates it around, looks, decides which way he wants to go with it. He's just going to kick it on the backhand, takes it back into his near corner. Nelson's shot will go off the side of the cage. And it'll just come back out to the top of the circles. Nelson avoids 2 hits. Carlson runs down into Renoski. They'll regroup deck down. Robbins couldn't get to it, and he's going to end up collecting it after a little bit, then shot on by Petrucci. It'll go back down, and Robbins chases it down into his own zone. Snyder back into the far corner, back behind his cage. Bast watches him pass it around for Nelson. And carrying it in on the backhand was Baker. Evan Baker, the sophomore. A lot of young guns on this Sewickley Academy squad. Trying to build it up. Carlson behind the cage. Cole Carlson, the sophomore. Baker rates and just dumps this one into the zone. They'll regroup. Cottrell. He'll pass it across looking for Cathju. Cathju lets it go for Smith. Waits, thinks about it, throws one across, and carrying it out is Baker. We'll dump this one into the far corner as Cathju regroups and throws one across center, and is going to be collected by Smith. 11:27 remaining in regulation. Carrying it in, Morgantown. Smith, shot just off the right shoulder of the new netminder, Scally from the Panthers. Price behind with Cottrell. They'll throw this one around, looking for Blinn. Blinn dumps one out to the point. Smith once again gets around a defender into the zone. Throws one. Shot on, rebound opportunity. Cottrell shot just wide of the cage. Price behind the net. On the backhand, goes to the forehand, gets around a defender. Comes around to the center looking for Stahara, and he couldn't get it out to him. It's going to be Smith and cleared out. And chasing it down is Blinn. Stahara will collect it, but Stanislaw will get there first, and we have a penalty coming up. An elbow at 10:32, and that's going to be on Zachary Blinn. And power play coming up for the Mohawks. 10:32 the time of the penalty. That's the only reason we stop clock. 8:32. Thomas will step in with Helen, and it's going to be cleared out. Stanislaw will chase this one down. Smith will just dump it back for Cox. Morgantown will regroup, carrying it in. The captain, Cooper Cox. 3 goals on the contest so far. Falling down was Daphner. Robbins had to collect it back down for Helen. Helen shot wide of the cage, goes back up along. Smith in front of the benches, across for Robbins. Robbins steps back, goes to that Hope Ice logo on the ice and cleared out. Robbins will have to regroup back in his own zone in front of his own bench. The alternate captain down past Daphner, and it's going to be cleared out. Cox gets into the zone. Carries it down, blocked by Stanislaw, and he'll carry it out. It'll be cleared in behind the cage. Carlson. Is it up for Cameron Smith? Over for Cooper Cox. Cox, this is the forehand, the backhand across to the top of the circles. Daphner's shot just off the foot of the new netminder. It is Scally. We go back out to the point. Handed back in for Daphner behind the cage. Smith battles off, back for Robbins. Robbins in a near corner. Robbins on a half wall, just dump this one, and it's going to be cleared out by the Panthers. 8:54 remaining in the third frame. Pick it up. Cox throws one all the way out, finds Daffner. Nope, off the stick of Daffner, and they're going to call that one no. No icing on the play. 8:41 remaining. That's the end of the, should be the end of the penalty here soon. Daffner. Penalty has not expired, and it's going to be thrown back out. Up to the point, and down Crania. They'll regroup, and back down for Quigley. Back down for Cox, and into the zone, Cooper Cox. I feel like the penalty has expired, but Cox will get his fourth of the contest. And it is 9-1. Face-off will be won by the Panthers. 9-1 is your score. On net, Bast will hold on to it with 7:55 remaining. Face-off one across. Cleared up and out. The icing is the call, 7:30 remaining. Once again, if you're interested in a little more hockey this evening, 9:10 or 9 o'clock face-off up at the, well, it's a 9:10 face-off up at the Barrel Ice Complex. As you can go listen to the wonderful voice of the legend Matt Popchalk as Pine Richland hosts Peters Township in a AAA matchup on 10-band TV. That's offside. They're regrouping as he's going to touch this one. Nope. Was offside, and a lot going on behind the cage. 6:50 remaining. Cooper Cox with his fourth goal of the contest. Faceoff comes outside the zone. 9-1 is your score. They just haven't uploaded it on the scoreboard yet. Knock out Price. Back down. They haven't added it to the official scoreboard either. There it is. 9-1. 5:58 remaining here. Maisie will dump this one behind. Picked up to the point, Baker. Baker throws one on off of a couple defenders. Thomas tries to get outside the zone. Maisie gets tied up with him. Back down it goes. Thomas and Maisie battle in front of the benches. Price will carry this one. Baker carries this one up. But the opposite Baker throws one on the cage and held on to by Bast, and Thomas ties up with Baker. A little bit of a size discrepancy there, but with 5:22 remaining, they'll hang out for a little bit. (9-1) is your score. The scoreboard shows 8-1 still, but it is 9-1. Back down behind, picked up by Morgantown. They'll just dump this one up on to Petrucci. We tipped out past Robbins. Baker in, and pass to Blinn. He'll leave it for Lieb. He passed out. Pass to Blinn, and Snyder will collect it back into his own zone where Robbins will regroup. Robbins behind his cage. Throw this one up for pass blank by pass Blinn. Petrucci into the end. It'll be hit across. Nelson can't get to it. Custer across, and Nelson gets an opportunity in front. Throws one on, save made. Rebound comes off the side of the cage. Custer battles behind. There will be a penalty coming up with Cathju. And 4:10 remaining. See who they get. They get Morgantown with the penalty. The face-off should come back down, as it's going to be Custer going off for the roughing minor. Go on the start. So 4:10, 2:10 is what we are looking for the power play. Baker steps in with Nelson. It'll be one back by Baker to leave. It goes outside the zone. They need to regroup. Up and carried out. Snyder can't get to it, so it's going to be Robbins. Back down and cleared out. Cathju across for Blinn. Blinn takes the hit in front of us. Snyder down for Blinn, and the zone, Lieb. And out comes Morgantown back into the zone. 3:34 remaining in regulation, into the near corner. It'll be Snyder up on the top of the circle. Snyder dances around a defender. Gets it around, but couldn't get around the final one, and out comes Sewickley Academy and turnover, but back to Blinn. Blinn into the zone. Blinn waits, throws one on. It's going to be blocked. Blinn behind the cage. Throws one in front. It'll bounce around. Back around Snyder. 3:10 remaining in regulation. This one will be dumped down the length of the ice. And down is Scally. And Carlson tries to get it around Nelson. They'll regroup into the near corner, and up for Petrucci. Petrucci around. Looks for the wraparound. Tries to go the opposite direction. Comes in looking for the Michigan and does not complete it. Carlson. It's bumped off the play. And then Thomas will dump this one out with 2:40 remaining. Petrucci across tip, scores. 10-0, Morgantown, 10-1, Morgantown leading here with 2:33 remaining. I don't think I've had 10 goals on the scoreboard yet. There we go. Okay, down Thomas, dumps this one in. Third period. Thomas comes in, shot, scores. He gets his second of the contest, and it's 10-2. Thomas with a quick snapshot below Bast with 2:07 remaining in regulation. They'll regroup. Down it goes. Lieb will dump this one across for John Paul Lieb. Out Stanislaw. Jacob Stanislaw loses the puck back down. Matthias Lieb will dump this one down, but picking up is Cox, looking for his 5th of the contest. Brings it in, comes across. The pass comes across. Strana couldn't get to it, so it's going to be John Paul Lieb. Back out, cleared out of the zone. Thomas dumps it in, opportunity. Stanislaw in the zone. Stanislaw gets around a defender. Baker, he'll throw one through. Thomas was home, but could not get the puck to him. Thomas throws one down, but Baker will dump this one out for Cottrell. He will have to turn and watch it go off the stick of Lieb. Turn around. Cottrell will get it off of a block. Cox is there. Cox comes down, and it's going to be cleared out all the way down. Not 1:09 remaining in the frame. Icing will be the call, and they're going to get an opportunity in the offensive zone with under a minute to go. It is currently 10-2 in favor of Morgantown. We'll have a face-off down low with 54 seconds to go. They haven't updated the official scoring yet. They'll try to get a 5th one for Cooper Cox. He has it on the half wall, throws one through. Back down looking for Cottrell. Cottrell in the near corner. Battle down, back up. Baker dumps one in. It's going to be 30 seconds remaining. Baker trying to keep it in, does not do so. He'll regroup back outside. Coming back down, Cox. 23 seconds to go. Cox throws one through, looking for Stahara. It's going to be picked up and carrying the other way is Sewickley Academy into the zone. Baker throws one through, up shot by Blinn. He had a hard time collecting it. Opportunity coming back the other way. Cox, 6 seconds remaining. Into the zone, has Cottrell, but it's offside, and that will do it here at the Hope Gas Ice Pavilion in Morgantown, West Virginia. The Morgantown Mohawks will defeat the Sewickley Academy Panthers 10-2 here. Enjoy the remainder of your evening. I'm Brian Mitchell. This was Pittsburgh Hockey Digest on 10van.tv from Morgantown, West Virginia. Your final score, the Morgantown Mohawks 10, the Sewickley Academy Panthers 2. Enjoy the remainder of your evening. Take care, folks.